Righty, welcome back to NZ Mopo Customs, or fucking what I know, whatever. I've given up guessing what to call myself now. Anyway, it's Wednesday, Tuesday, can't remember. Anyway, it's the middle of the week. So we got that corner sort of half buttoned up at the weekend. We've got it all stitched in. Smeared a little bit of glass filler on, and that's as far as I got. I didn't get back down here. So I think what I might do is just quickly whip over that with the DA, clean up the mixing board. I'm actually going to go pick up a way better mixing board, which I'll do a separate video on that one, pick it up. It's like the one that I've got at workshop, and it's fucking awesome. It's the best mixing boards I've ever used. I'll show you that when we get there. I'm just going to go pick it up from my brother, and I'm actually going to drop the wheels off the studio to my brother to get those extra pieces welded on them. I've got to grab one of the old ones from upstairs, and there's a solid steel wheel there, but I think there's another one. I'm not 100% sure. I want to see if I can hunt down. There's two of those steel wheels, like the solid ones instead of the wooden spokes, but they're the same configuration. So yeah, I want to grab one of those, and those other wheels, and one of the old rims, as a sample to try and get my brother to modify those wheels, the new bands, to fit that studio, because they can't make them like you want to anyway. So we'll clean this up, give it a quick day, and then I want to mix some mud up and we'll spread it on there. I'll just do the bottom half of it so we can at least blend that in, and then I might set to, while that's curing, try and tear some of this off, and dig into this corner a little bit. I'm a bit scared to get into the corner, but we'll just see what happens. It's probably, there's a bit of a couple of funny bits going on here, so we need to fix something in here anyway. Hopefully we don't end up with too much of a fucking rebuild like that, but it kind of needs to be done. There's a bit of a hole in there, so they'll throw it out as soon as it gets inspected, so it needs to be fixed before it goes that far.
taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough as
Well, I was hoping this wasn't as bad, and it kind of is. Fortunately, it looks like it's reasonably solid from there down. The light on me, yep. Hopefully. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad down on there. Like, we'll have to get down there and have a better gaze, but it doesn't look too bad. It looks fairly solid. So we can blow that out and clean that out. But what we have to do is repair, obviously this piece, repair into there where it's open into here. Well, it's open right into the skin anyway. Well, it's open right to here, but we just have to repair that bit. And you can see there's all the fucking bits that have just been bodged in and just fucking couple of tacks and then just filled it full of fucking mud. Like this was a piece that was here, like it wasn't even attached. Like when I cut it off, it just come loose. So, but it looks pretty solid from here up. Like we'll have to strip it off properly. I'll have to get a couple more stripping discs. I haven't really got any good ones left. I've only just got like the ends of a few. So I'll have to whip down there and grab another half a dozen or whatever. And just strip this off properly. Even up to here somewhere. We'll just see. And then we'll just mainly to see what's underneath. I think the rest of the sheet metal from here up is pretty good. It's just really, there's unfortunately a lot of, there's quite a bit of surface and shit underneath it. So it won't hurt to just strip it off. Especially on the bad bits, We won't dig too hard into the shit, but I don't know. Like I probably could fucking end up doing the same thing on that front wheel arch if I really wanted to, but I don't know. It's not. I'll have a good look up on the inside, but it's not poking out at me like that. That was bad. That was here, like here, because I could see this hole from the inside. So I knew that it needed repaired, and I could see that it had been sort of poorly repaired, if you know what I mean. So yeah, like when it's just fucking tacked over top and whatever, it's not going to fly. I'll have to cut up here a wee bit further, but we'll just do the same. We'll end up probably making this section here. We'll shape that up, get that fit to that curve. That's why I left this here. Eventually once we pick this off, it's actually reasonably solid. It's just this, well, the bottom part of it's reasonably solid. It's just this piece in here, so we can repair that, and then we'll build this outside skin, or outside piece, and then I don't know. This should be fairly easy to shape, and then we might just make that other piece a bit like we did here, and just do something similar, and then just build this piece in to fit it. And we'll clean this up a bit further and just make sure we don't have to do any weird shit in here, because there's a big hunk of bog there. We'll just make sure there's no, we'll just clean it up a bit better around here and just make sure there's no major holes in anywhere. It feels pretty solid, so we'll just give it a clean up and just make sure there's nothing weird going on. Before I run away, I went upstairs because I knew there was a spare wheel up there, but it's fucking wrong size. for that sturdy. We thought it was the same, because there is actually some other ones up there, but they're plain. They're plain like this. They've got no ribbon on them to push up against the wheel, but it must be like, that's a 21. So these must be like a 20, I don't know, 22, whatever, 20, I'm guessing 22, 23. Looking at that, probably 23, maybe even 24-inch rim. So that could be off a big one. One of the, what do you want to call it? Sorry. Big Six, or that variation. I know, what's his name? Vice Grip's got one. He's got one of the whole fire engine, and I think it's a Big Six, or that variation, I think, and it's got the bigger wheels. So I bet you that's what that off. So, unfortunately, to get these wheels modified to suit, to get, because we've got obviously new tyres as well, but to get one of those other bands modified to fit, we might have to I might have to take one of these off tomorrow night. I'll just leave the top and run it. But yeah, and then see if it fits over that other solid steel wheel here. I'm always going to take them away tonight and well, not tonight, but take them away tonight and then drop them off to my brother tomorrow. But it's completely the wrong fucking wheel. But this is the same as the same size and the same configuration. It's just, this is a steel wheel instead of a wooden, like the ones up on that other studio out there, the 27. So it's all on the solid discs, which is quite a common variation. But the wheels of the rims, or the bands and the shit are the same, if you know what I mean. I actually thought there's another one of those two here, because that come off. They're the diff that we stripped, I think. Yeah, I thought there was another one of those wheels down here. I might have to have a look a bit harder and amongst all the shit. But yeah, come off. Yeah, this. Oh, there it is there. There it is there. It might be straighter. I have to check, because that one's pretty bent too. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We'll look, see which one's better. Probably neither. Yeah, it's pretty foo-barred up too. Yeah, it's pretty foo-barred up. I think I got some spare cleats too somewhere that hold the wheel on. Pretty sure there's some spare cleats over here somewhere in like shit. I know there's some spare cleats and studs. I know there is somewhere. I remember looking at them at some point. That is sturdy stuff. I won't look through it now, but I know there's some spare cleats on me somewhere. What I mean by cleats, these things. Pretty sure there's some spares, so I can give them to my brother. Not that it wheel matters, but like at least I'll give them an idea of where that, especially if I pull another one of those good wheels. Well, I wouldn't say good wheels, but one of those wheels off. They're okay, and that are usable at a pinch, if you know what I mean. And get them to size it up on that other stuff. Oh, that's all that stuff in that car. I wonder what that was for a minute. But yeah, not that I'm worried about it now, but I'll have to have a decent nosy through here and see if I can figure out what those bits are. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Oops. Righty, so welcome back. I can't really remember where we're at with the video. I think I cut this piece out, and I was talking about maybe working on the Morry. I come down here the other weekend. I had a small back, so I basically just lifted it up and took the wheels off it. So I think the plan is for today, I'm actually going to spend the morning on this, see if I can get that other panel started, and then we might spend the afternoon on this, and then we'll see tomorrow, because I really want to get this to the point where it's stripped down. We're almost at the end of November, so I've really only got a couple of 3 weeks to get this stripped down and blasted, so I can do the metal repairs during my Christmas break. You know, obviously I'm going to probably take a few days off here and there, but it's a good opportunity for me to come down and actually get a decent run at the metal work without just picking away here and there a few hours and then a little bit at weekends. So if I can get the shell blasted and obviously some of the other panels cleaned up, and obviously everything else out of it, that gives me a really good opportunity. Once it's stripped down and everything's off, I can do the metal work that needs to be done, and then we can obviously start doing a little bit of body work, filler work, whatever that needs to be done to bring it back up to get it ready for paint. And then obviously we can go through the other stuff, have a look at brakes, check that stuff out, you know, obviously go through all the other hardware. Probably won't strip the motor, but we'll go through and we'll probably put some new seals and just throw a few gaskets and stuff at it. Obviously strip the carburetor, make sure it's good, because it's been sitting a long time. It does run, but it doesn't seem to idle very well, so probably the idle circuit's probably blocked up. So we'll probably strip that, and we'll give the body of the carburetor a really good ball up and clean up and whatever, and strip that and put it back together and put some new gaskets and whatever in it. Probably maybe see if we can get a full carb kit to rebuild it. And then obviously we'll replace all the hoses and whatever else, and paint it up and put it back together and get the upholstery done and all that sorts of things, once we know that the body shell's not a complete basket case, and I don't think it is. But anyway, so I think the plan is this morning, I think the first thing I'm going to do is a quick measure up, see what sort of length of material we need here, and we'll fold it a piece, obviously this width, and we'll shape that outer piece up, and then we'll do the same for that, and then we'll make the other piece. And we've got a little bit of repair to do in here, look on this stuff. But yeah, but I think it can't be any worse than recreating that anyway. put a bit of shape in this edge of this panel. So along this edge we want to curve it out. So we've all got this from the other side, from the back part of the guard that we made. So we can use this to help us form this piece, because it's the rough right profile, if you know what I mean. Shouldn't be far away, so we don't really need much shape in here, but we want up this piece. So we'll just get a curved flat hammer that I fixed, put a new handle on there a wee while ago. Take the sticker off, don't really need that on there anymore. Got a couple more hammer handles to hang at some point. Got to get myself a couple more wedges. It's just pushing some shape into this to match the contour of the original panel. Peter that out from there, we won't worry about it down there, because it's fucking way underneath. So one CF Bedford wheel arch. We'll go see how well that fits now for shape. That we've manipulated it. See that there, hopefully. That should fit reasonably well now. Squeeze past the camera. Jab myself in the ass or something. So yeah, that fits pretty nice. So in theory, once we clean all this shit off, we could fit that on there. Look, I'm not 100% happy with this down here, but it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Or as long as we can get it to all match in the end. But yeah, somewhere around here, yeah, it seems to fit pretty well in there. You know, for the most part. Nobody's ever going to know, and I'm glad I fixed that other hammer with that flat but curved shape. I shaped that like that because I had plenty of other hammers that fitted the bill of that. It was more of a square flat here, and I put a real radius on it so I could hammer like so this sort of body, you know, shape in. So now obviously we don't need all this out here. So we can trim, you know, we can work this out and trim this off after we've got this piece made, and carve this out here. So unfortunately, like if I had a deeper shrink or stretcher, I could probably make, like have this short radius or measurement, and then put another small bend in it, obviously bend it to the shape again. So probably what I'll do now is I might try and get this piece here off here, then we can butt this up in here I think I might cut. It's not too bad. I might clean this off and just cut this up a little bit higher, so where I've got this fitting anyway. We can clamp this in here with a couple of clamps, and then we can make this other piece and butt it up against it, and we can just work out where we want to, how much we want to trim off this, and just run around here and cut it off with a cutting wheel or whatever, and then we can butt the other piece up to it, and we can just weld that edge, because it's not very easy trying to make all this shape in one piece without the right gear. If I had a I call it, I'd like to make cow fishes from Make It Custom, Japan's Customs. Make It Custom is his YouTube channel. If I had that profile die hammer tool that he's got, I could make this profile in a hammer, and if I had a big shrinker stretcher, we could probably shape a flat piece close to this right profile, and then run it through, and you'd better beat this curve into it, if you know what I mean. Like once you sort of got this stretched or shrunk and this stretched to the right shape, you could probably beat that profile in one piece, you know, or close to it, if you know what I mean. But this is the simplest way for me to make it, and then we can just weld down there, a little bit of filler, and be done with it, you know what I mean. So we've got this made. I think I might get what's left of this outer off here, give it somewhere to clamp, but this is still going to be here. We'll still get this as a reference. Obviously we're going to have to fix this hole at some point, but I'm more worried about making the outer first, and this is easy to fix before we weld all this on. Yeah, this piece is easy to fix, and we can fix this inner piece in here too. We can clean all this up and whatever. The rest of it's pretty solid. All this is pretty good. Yeah, we might have to clean up a little bit about the bits and pieces, but yeah, we mightn't have to go too much further up in here. We'll just clean this up a little bit further, just so we know that there's no other bodgy stuff going on up top. But you know, we've allowed ourselves a little bit extra. Like I can move this around a little bit. Like I can re-profile this a little if I have to come up a little bit higher. You know, I can come up a little bit, and it's not going to matter much. I can just re-profile this a little. I can come up here an inch or so. So yeah, I think we'll get this off. I'll use that belt sander. I think I've got a couple of spare belts here. These are fucking so handy. I probably should have bought the big one, but I might just quickly grind this off with a grinder just to get rid of the worst material off, and then we'll use this to get this off. I've got a couple of spare belts, I think.
And some music that you never guess. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got heart. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough defeat. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who were half-nots, who were not as tough. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough defeat. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who were half-nots, who were not as tough as me. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough defeat. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who were half-nots, who were not as tough as me.
Right. Off. Alright. So we know our rough measurement from top to bottom. You know, it's going to be roughly the same distance, so that doesn't matter so much. So what we want to know is the width of this, so we can obviously do a similar sort of thing to a mild bend in it. Roughly whatever this, close to whatever this angle is, and then again, you know, out here, there's probably as much as we can, similar to what this is. I think I made this about 27 mil, or just a little bit over an inch. Now it gives us plenty to shave off. Now we end up cutting this back to, where's my marker? So we end up probably cutting this back, you know, probably a quarter of an inch off here, whatever, all the way around. We'll just trim it off, grind it off, whatever. And then we will butt this other panel up again, and we'll just weld it. So it's the simplest way to do it. But we want this measurement here, so if we just sit on 100 mil. We want about, what's that, 18 mil, so a little bit under 20. So we'll try and make this fairly accurate. This didn't matter, but we'll try and make at least this measurement fairly accurate, so we only have to trim this one, not both. And then we'll do the same with about 20 odd mil, 27, 28 mil out here somewhere. So we'll come out about, yeah, they work quite nicely. So we'll come out to about here somewhere with our profile. Hopefully you can see that. I'll clear that a little bit. So yeah, the next piece will come out to here somewhere, and then after that we can take, again, we better use a rough dimension this way, which is about 450 mil. Like we've got plenty here out the back. So we've already ain't quite that far, but we can get a rough measurement this way, rough measurement that way, and we can probably even just bend it over, and then we'll just have to radius, just put a little bit of gentle curve out. We can probably even just use this, probably just a couple of gentle stabs on the stretcher. That'll actually just help curl that out, because it'll stretch that panel. Or I can probably just actually run that edge through the English wheel. That'll help stretch that edge of that curve to come out and hopefully meet up with this. But again, this panel here, what we're about to do is, when we get this cut and shaped, to, you know, just stretch this edge, shrink this edge to get to do this, then we will be able to, yeah, we'll better again set it over that form in the right place and just hammer a little bit extra shape into it, and then we'll better weld that into there and that into there. But yeah, we will build all this first, but we can just get this rough profile, and we should be able to leave enough down here to bend our bottom lip to catch that bottom edge. Then down there we can just manipulate it from there. So we need 18, and we'll just add about 27 mil again, 28 mil, just to give our piece there, and that's plenty. I can get plenty of depth in the strength in the stretcher to stretch to get that same shape.
Right, this top section down where that thick black line is, I really like how that's fitting and sitting. The piece below it to where we've got that line is kind of okay, but I'd like it to have a bit more twist in it this way. So I'm thinking of cutting probably this off, see if I can manipulate just twisting that round instead of like this kind of holding its profile, and then maybe reattaching this or putting a more slightly flat piece in, like maybe using not one of these pieces I've chopped off. I like how the back edge is sitting, but not so much the front edge, if you know what I mean. I'm holding that in there. It'd be just nice to have that a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like it, but it just almost needs to be, I don't know, this needs to be sitting flatter. You know, it needs to be sitting flatter here, more flat, like the rest of it, you know, flat to the plane of the side of the van, not hooking back in. It needs to be sitting flatter. Righty, so now what I did was I just laid it over that same block, which we beat a little bit of shape into this. Just put a gentle wee bit of shape into this. So when we pull that in there, it's just got a little curve in it. It's just so we can get that nice profile into here. So when I come back after lunch, what we'll do is lay some tape on here. We might just see if we can pull this on a little bit tighter. Lay some tape on here, we can mark where this panel comes up to. Obviously get a rough dimension for here, down there, lay that on a piece of sheet metal. We can cut that out. We start shaping that in. Where I've cut this off here short, because we cut these other bits off wherever they are, doesn't matter. We can probably, when we do this bottom piece, we can probably just bring that right over to this and just make it basically flat through here and just manipulate, you know, that into there, because you're never going to see it. You know, it's basically flat from here on, so it'll just follow that profile, and we'll just cut it around and to fit into here, and like I said, we'll just manipulate it. We might have to bring this edge around a little bit to, it's pretty good down here. Like it's going to have a little bit of come along here and just curve out very slightly. Whatever, you know, we can manipulate this in and out. We might have to manipulate this down just to get that to work a wee bit better. But yeah, no, we're pretty good. I don't think it's going to take too much more to make this panel tack it together, and then we can also might, if I bring it up a little higher, I might bring it up to here, just see if I can get this line. This doesn't look right. I don't know whether this here should be coming down here a little bit. I might have to just have a wee look at the side of that door. This just doesn't look right. It doesn't look straight. You know what I mean? Like this here, it looks like it either should come down to here a little bit further. You know, is it? Freaking, it's something square. Yeah, this will do. This looks like it. You know, it should be coming down there like that instead of, if I hold that flat on there, you know, we've got this dirty, weird dog leg. So I just need to work out whether it's, I may even have to just sit the door back in place and drop the pins in. And when I get some extra hands down here, I can probably do that, and I can see whether it's this here needs to straighten up, or whether this needs to go around there like that, or what I need to do to make just this fucking line better. So if I can come up a little bit here, I can remake part of this corner, and we might better just weld it down here or something like that, or join it in better and fix this without putting a whole pile of filler in it, if you know what I mean, just enough to dress it up. Now that's all you want filler to be. Like, even this here is thickish, but I wouldn't call that excessively thick. Like, you know, you don't really want it any thicker than that. You know, occasionally you might have to in a shitty, weird area. Like, there's bound to be a spot in here where it's going to be a little bit thicker by the time we get it shaped and get some of the highs and lows out of that back piece. But, you know, and do the rest of it. But, you know, I wouldn't call that excessively thick, that filler. It's probably a little bit. But, yeah, like that's, what's that? Somewhere between 16th and an 8th. I would call that safe enough. You know what I mean? It's just, it's never been prepped properly. You can see where it's peeling up here. So yeah, we need to strip that back. Well, I probably need to strip the whole fucking van, but I'm not going there. This is the one that's showing the issues peeling. You know what I mean? All the rest of it looks solid enough. So yeah, we're just going to strip this panel because we've done most work on it, and obviously we're going to do some filler work down into there to fix where we've joined that and pretty it up. But yeah, it'll just be a little bit of filler in here by the time we're finished. Actually got a few holes in here. We might cut this back a little bit further yet, just to fix some of this shit. But generally I think this is pretty good. Yeah, there's no filler in there really. I don't think there's any major filler. Any of that, it's just paint, just a bit of 2 layers of paint and primer. So it can just be scuffed back, good scuffed back and painted, you know, primed and painted. You know, if, you know, whatever, you know what I mean. There's no horrendous filler in there, so we just might have to trim it back just to get back a bit better metal.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Right. Bloody pen. Right. So I left a bit up here. I left enough to turn that edge if I need to. So we're going to throw that door on, won't I? Let's do that. Let's do that for a minute. Set that back door back in place. Just want to see what this edge is doing. Yeah, okay. So this is wonky. So this needs straight down there. It's too tight here. It needs to come along here. Square that up. Alright, so that's easy enough. Well, but it should be easier to sort. Don't need the door for that. That's sorted. I'm not sure if you've seen that or not. So, let's roll a little bit of shape into this. Where are we? In there. Just mark here. We'll go with this in at the moment, and some pulling gear. Quarter pair or something. So I could push that over. Fuck. Yeah, it was quite bent in and out. Fucking look at it. Well, it's probably not going to change the curvature of this. It just means it's going to be pushed over a bit. It will change the curvature a little bit. Damn it. Got a bit of quarter pair home with a couple blocks of wood and just push that across, hammered it out. I might have to leave it. We're kind of there, yeah, but we need to straighten this in a piece up and push the bottom of this over a bit and down. So I'll probably put a porta patty against that spring and a block of wood, and manipulate between here and here and just sort of straighten it up a bit. And get that in a better position. Just make it fucking better than what it is. Right, just gonna be a quick run around, just kind of show what we did. So we've got quite a bit of stuff, just general stuff undone underneath the engine bay. Radiator out, you know, a bit of the electrical stuff just sort of unhooked. Heater hoses off. You know, you've got to still undo the carburetor bits and pieces. Bumpers off, lights out, headlights out anyway. Some of the bracketry, some of the like door latches and catches and stuff off the doors. Tail lights, all the lenses off, so we can obviously, when we get that bits off, we can go a bit further. That's like fuel pump and bits and pieces just sitting in that box. They grab that and that. Got the torch there, we'll grab that too. Meantime, so yeah, we'll keep picking away. I'll get the rear bumper off as well. I've sprayed a heap of bolts and bits and pieces as well, just make life a little bit easier when they come back around to doing everything. So yeah, we'll keep picking away over the next, hopefully next few days, and you know, obviously maybe a little bit at the weekend, I'm not sure, because the Lawrence car show burnouts is on, so I would like to go to that if finances allow. Just they've been a bit tight lately when I'm not down here working full time, and obviously got a good flow going through. Like I can make a reasonable amount of money, whereas working at the body shop, I'm only just getting a wage, so I can't go to and fro on cash flow, if you know what I mean. Just it's not quite as easy, even though I'm doing a little bits and pieces here. I'm not getting as regular payments, but anyway. And we've made some progress on this too, just as a quick update. I haven't done anything more, but what I'm going to do is grab, you'll see, I'll have to talk to the missus and see what she's doing tonight, because if she buggers off I can't come down here, but because normally her and her older son go into town and do bits and pieces on a Monday night, because that's when he gets paid. But yeah, I want to put the porta pair in against the spring or the perch. And what I didn't realise is this is all bent and buckled in here, as you can see, just in the end. But it's not very easy to straighten. But if I put the porta pair in there against the spring, I've got a duck-billed spreader. It works. So if I put that in here with a couple blocks of wood, I'll just better push this back across and straighten this up and do a little bit of hammer and dolly work and just make it better. It doesn't have to be dead perfect. Yeah, and just work on this a bit, straighten it up and fix that before I finish this. I'd need to do that first. Just fix a few things there. You can see there's actually some splits and cuts in it, so if I can get that straightened back up and hammer and dolly it around a little bit, I might even, because we do have a bit extra meat here that I can cut away, which I might do that once I'll lay my patch back over, and we'll do a rough line down there and we'll cut it back a bit short, just give me a bit more access to swing a hammer. And when we push against that, I might even use one of these. I'll just throw that in there so I don't forget to pick it up. Like one of these steel blocks off the whatever it is, that 20-ton press, whatever it is. 20? Can't remember. Doesn't matter. I think it's 20. I think it's 20-ton hydraulic ram with a pump. So yeah, I'll use one of those blocks in against there or something like that, and then I can hammer against it, or use a bit of 4x2 or something like that. There's plenty of shit around here that I can cut a chunk off or whatever. There's plenty of blocks and shit around here. So yeah, that's what we'll do with that corner. So anyway, I'm going to bugger off, grab my last bit of tools, just double check I haven't missed anything, and we'll head to the other workshop and do a day down there. And yeah, and then we'll try and come back down here maybe tonight, or it probably might be Tuesday night. But if I can get I'll straighten it up within half an hour, 40 minutes with that duckbill porta pair, and because it's air over hydraulics, I'll just better go in there and just push it out and put a couple of blocks in there, and in and out a couple of times and add a wee bit of shit in there. Fucking handy tool. I haven't used it too many times, but the duckbill, but it's freaking handy. I've used it in a couple buses and stuff to straighten up wheel arches and shit that have been bent in that you haven't got a lot of room in. But it's absolutely perfect in there with a couple of blocks of wood, and just push that across, and I'll better hammer and dolly on the inside from the inside of it. So yeah, that'll make a hell of a difference to that, and it'll just look better, and it won't be what I mean. Just when it gets its safety check, first safety check after having all the body work done, and it's getting back on the road, it won't be obvious that it's been bent and fucked with, if you know what I mean. Just because when you get stuff that's bent like that and fucked up, they'll make you fix it, because it's not really structural damage, and this is unibody, but it is full. Well, it does have it's unibody, but it's kind of like a frame, but it's still unibody, so it will be classed as structural here anyway, so that needs to be fixed. But anyway, we'll carry on. shooting back down to the workshop. Got the motor out of the Blue Morry earlier on. I haven't really done any updates, just a couple bits of footage. So yesterday and today, spent a wee bit of time here and there working on the Morry to get the motor out of it, and obviously get a few more bits and pieces undone. Just unfortunately, the weekend again, just, I don't know, you think you're going to do something and just nothing quite goes to plan. It's just unfortunate. But I was only up a wee while, maybe barely an hour, I guess. This morning I got up reasonably early, about 5 or whatever it was, 5:30. And it was about 6 o'clock or somewhere around about there. My sister rang me and said that my father hasn't been very well anyway, but he ended up in hospital. Him and Mum, they got their RV, camper van, whatever you want to call it, motorhome. They've been out to a couple of little events recently, so Dad was kind of feeling reasonable, but not great, you know what I mean? But good enough to get out and do a little bit. So they'd gone to a motorhome park up thing with a whole heap of other people. And Dad had a really good day, but obviously in the middle of the night, he just was in a lot of pain and whatever like that. But unfortunately, because he's got this growth on his hip, which has been going on for a couple of years now plus, there must have been some sort of new medication come out, and they were trialling him on it for the last, I don't know, couple of weeks or whatever. He basically was having this drug once a month or something like that. It was just, I don't know, it was a single injection or something. I'm not really 100% sure, but something like that. And it looks like he's had a bad reaction to it, and he's ended up with blood poisoning, septicemia or something like that. So he's in the hospital. So I've been to and fro here and there. I had to go pick up Mum from the hospital this morning and take her back out to where the camper van was, which fortunately wasn't terribly far, but still half an hour, 40 minutes drive, a couple of different directions. So hopefully I've got enough fucking fuel to get to work all next week. But we managed to get the motor out, but I dragged the porta pad home from work with just the little spreader duckbill thing, I'd call it, because I wanted to take that van as well if I got a chance. I was just sitting at home thinking about it. I was like, shit, I've got that freaking porta pad I haven't even dragged out of the car. So I don't want to be dragging it back here too many times. If I can, you know, if I really need it, I've got it out the workshop and I can grab it. It's not a big issue, if you know what I mean. But I just thought, I don't want to drag it all the way here and then drag it all the way back and not use it. So, and it shouldn't take me too long to straighten this piece out if I get it done. Plus I'll better have a quick scan around my tools and sort a few bits and pieces out and have a quick wee clean up from taking this motor out. Just pick my tools up and sort them out. Put all the sockets back in the thing and sort out whatever and lay the spanners out and just have a bit of a general tidy up, and then pack all my gear up that I need to take back to the workshop. So we'll quickly do that. I wish I bought a fucking drink with me, to be honest. I'm dry. Yeah, we'll go over there, grab a quick look in here and I'll show what we're up to. And I'll grab this porta pad out. Right, we'll jump onto the old double cam view here. So this is porta pad. This is this duck bill, what do you want to call it? So when you pump it up, it spreads out. So what I want to do is jam that here, down in here with a couple of blocks of wood, and just straighten the bottom of this piece. It's been jammed that way and bulged, but so we'll have a quick look at it in a minute. I'll just show you where we've got to here. Hold on. Oh, the phone's going to wonky. Right, so got the motor out, gearbox out. Obviously we've got this plate over the floor, bit carpet, but you know, just a wee bit more stuff out undone. It's actually really freaking clean in here, which I'm really happy about. So what I just want to quickly do is go around and pick up all my tools, sockets, spanners, whatever, have a quick clean up on the floor, just pick up all the other bits and pieces on here. Not that I really need to, not that I have to take this anywhere, but it'd just be nice to have a quick sort out and figure out just where everything is, and then suss out what tools I bought here and what tools I need to take back with me to the other workshop. You know what I mean. Plus, it's just starting to get to the point where I'm starting to lose track of where everything is again. I will sort out here and just spread stuff out a bit better. So I'll quickly do that. I might just throw it up on the tripod and on the charger, and I'll quickly do that and suss out my tools, and then we'll have a wee look at this porta power. I don't want to be down here too long because it's getting, well, it's not late at night, but it's getting on. So yeah, it'll be another, I don't know, if I can spend an hour down here and have a wee tidy up, just sort out some shit, get some shit off the floor. You know, the wood dry shaft and everything's out of it around now too, so we'll quick sort out of this gear, and yeah, and then we'll have a wee nosy at this porta power situation. See if we kind of get you in position here somewhere. Try and look down what we're looking at. Maybe. Kind of. Not. Hammer. Down the one. What I actually just realised is I probably just actually could have got away with just the head. So I could have taken the pump off the bloody pump off the porta pit, off the what do I fucking call it? The press. I think probably could have got away with the pump off the press. I'll have to investigate that further because we do have another one of those at work, one of those duck bills. Let's see. So it's this piece here that's distorted, a bit wide. Okay, find a slightly smaller bit of timber to put in here and push against. Using this bit of block section might be enough just to hold in there with this. Maybe. Just want to push where it's bent here back. If I can. It's actually been cut to make work at some point. Just, oh, really, guys, we'll just take it off. We'll have to make it fit back on here. Fix that, but don't worry about it. When I work, guys. Get off. Get off. Get off. Okay. That's why it's all fucked up. As far as I can go with it. But it's a lot better than it was. Now I can probably get a bigger stick in here, or maybe just a wee bit further down. Let me see if we can flatten her out of it. Fucking sun is right now, isn't it? Hammer. There. Need a bigger stick. I need something a wee bit bigger than that. I need a 4x2. Fucking, I think that's a 3x4 or something. It's a bit big. And that other bit of box section is just not quite big enough. Try it a bit thicker bit. Just give it a little bit more push. Definitely making progress. So it might be perfect, but it'll be fucking ends up better than it was. A few pushes and a bit of a bash. Should be alright. And it'll make a whole lot more fucking sense anyway. Did what it did the first time. That's crazy. definitely straight at the same time. Yeah, that is awesome. It's forcing it the right direction. It won't be perfect. Probably fucking damn sight better than it was. It won't look, at least look like it's fucking all bent up. Not really as bad anyway. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. And a little bit. Give it another wee push. I'd say that probably does. That's all it needed. A bit of the right thing and fucking get fucking home and hosed, you know what I mean? The rest of it we can manipulate from there. See, I didn't realise this has been all cut. But they obviously cut it to make it fucking fit again, if you know what I mean. But that's a damn sight fucking better than it was. It's not perfect, it's fucking good enough, you know. Like we're not building a fucking show car. That's what people forget when they watch videos. You know what I mean? We're not building a show car here. So there's no point fucking, you know, you make it nice, and as long as it looks good from the outside and it's not all fucking right, doesn't matter if it's not perfect. As long as the customer's happy, you know. If it was $1 million fucking show car, well, you know, you'd fucking fix all this and make it fucking perfect, but we're not. You know? This thing will be, I don't know, 12 grand. Maybe a wee bit more than that, you know, finished, you know what I mean? Not fucking, not 50 or 100 or 200. Nowhere even near it. But people forget that. Like, I've seen fucking that many comments on videos. Not on mine, but and on mine, but you know, it's like people go, oh, fuck, you know, haven't hammered that out very flat, and fucking you get a bit of, you know, why don't you metal finish it? Well, fuck, are you paying the fucking 100, 200, 300, 400, $500,000 for a fucking bare metal finish body job? You know, to do a whole car fucking to a bare metal finish? No. Well, fuck off then. You know what I mean? But now that's reasonably straight, and if somebody's underneath there, it doesn't look like it's all fucking bent up and buckled. You know what I mean? That's a little bit out of shape, but nothing that, you know, people just go, oh yeah, it's got a bit of a bump there. Nah. But before it was quite buckled up and crushed. So at least now we can carry on with our patch. We can tack this back into place. We can fit that back to the inner panel and make it right, if you know what I mean. And it'll be good. It'll be, by the time we're finished with it and blocked it out and made it reasonably straight, like, it's not going to be super straight, but we'll make it pretty fucking nice. That most people will walk past and go, that's a nice fucking van. What it is, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't put the weird windows inside of it and a few bits and pieces like that, but for what the guy wants, he wants some opening windows in the back. He wants to be able to slide these windows back and get a bit of air through the back, you know? You know, if they're camped up somewhere having a bit of a sleep for a night with a you know, some sort of bed in the back, you know, if he wants to crack the windows open, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning because it's fucking 25 degrees C, or I don't know, whatever that is, in, you know, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's getting a bit hot, well, you know, you can let a bit of air in, you know what I mean? But, you know, people, I don't know, people forget that. I've seen it so many fucking times recently on, like, short clips and other videos, and it's like, oh, what a bod's job, you know, it's full of body filler, why don't you metal finish that? All these sorts of things, all these sorts of comments, and I fucking say to them every time, I say to some of these people, are you paying for the job? Yeah, they go, no. How do you know how much that person's wanting to pay for this, you know, body job, repair job? You know, they might have, I don't know, 15 grand. You know, I bought a vehicle and it's got a bit of rot in it. You know, how much to cut the rust out of this, make it pretty nice and get me on my way, you know what I mean? You know, I don't want anything, I don't want a show-winning job, but I want it solid, rust, you know, reasonably rust-free, you know, a decent repair job, you know. I'm not worried if it's not 100%, the panels aren't 100% dead perfect, you know, as long as it hasn't got fucking, you know, an inch of body filler. You know, if you have to give it a wee skim and block it out, so be it, you know what I mean? You know, I don't want a show job, you know, it's just going to be a nice driver, you know what I mean? Go out and have some fun with it. You know, I don't want to spend fucking $100,000 or $50,000, you know. Here in New Zealand, easy to fucking spend 50 grand on an old vehicle that's been taken basically to be metal, and had a reasonable body job. 50 grand's nothing. It's here is nothing, you know. $150 an hour, somewhere in that ballpark. Like I spent on my $100 an hour on a work is 130, I think, somewhere around about there. You know, some of these other guys are more, some of them are less. You know what I mean? But if you're spending fucking, you know, 1,000 hours on something, there's a fucking 130 grand. You know, it depends on how far the person's prepared to go. It depends on how bad the body is. All those sorts of things. You might get to bring a car in, like an old car. It might look a bit rough. You get it stripped down. You think, fuck, this thing's pretty solid. It's only going to need a couple of repair panels. You know, we'll hammer out a few bits and pieces, you know, and you'll do it for reasonable money. But the next company that comes in, it's exactly the same car. You'll spend twice as fucking much time on it because the fucking thing's fired. You know what I mean? But it's, to them, it might be worth the money, or it might be a rare car. You know what I mean? It might be a similar model to the one you just done. That was a more of a plain Jane stripper version. You know, it's a bit like the difference between a what is it? A satellite and a fucking GDX, or well, there was I think there was a lower model than that too. You know, Belvedere or whatever it is. That was like the base model, like the very, very base model, like lower than the satellite. You know, you could have that same car come in, because it needs the same work, but one's a fucking 426 Hemi. That's a fucking complete rot box. But the guy likes to spend the money on it because it's worth fucking good money, and it's the car he's always wanted. You know, or it's always been in the family, and it's just fucking one of those unfortunate cars that's fucking rotted out. And he's going to spend big fucking money. He goes, look, money's not too much of an issue. I want it done properly. I want it fucking bare metal inside and out. Fucking, you know, if the quarter panels need replaced, it's replaced. And if the floor needs replaced, replace it. Whatever, you know, just do it. You know, strip it down. Fucking, I want this fucking thing dead perfect. Right? And then another guy comes in. It's got this, picked up this, you know, what he could afford. You know, it was a real cheap version because it was this full stripper model. It was a 6-cylinder frickin', and he had a V8 at home. He had a frickin' 8 3/4 diff. He had a 727 trans. Fucking wants to put that in it, but you know it's got a bit of rot in it. But he still wants a half by reasonable bare metal job. Strips it down. The fucking thing's pretty much. It's got a few issues. You know, we'll throw a trunk floor in the bottoms of the quarters and maybe a couple of repair panels in the guards and maybe a couple of little patches in the doors, and done with it. You know what I mean? And he gets a really nice car, but doesn't have to be dead perfect for, say, 40 grand. Whereas the other guy with the Hemi, same body, but it's a rot box, spends $500,000 on it, you know. But this guy wanted it dead perfect. You know, you can have the same car and have two totally different scenarios, and, you know, one cost fucking an absolute fortune, and the other one costs fuck all. You know, it's like this little Morry here. It's not actually that bad. Like, the more I look at it and the more I get it apart, it's got some issues, but you know, we're going to find some other issues in it, but as far as I can see, like, the floor in the fucking thing's the fucking mints. Like, you know, like, at this point, if you know what I mean, like, it's not a bad floor. It hasn't even fucking rotted away anywhere. Like, there's bound to be a little bit here and somewhere, but the floor's like fucking mint in this thing. Like, look at the floors. Like, it's like fucking pristine in here. Like, there's a little bit of surface and shit, but, you know what I mean? Like, it's got some issues, but, you know, like, we've got some issues and shit. You know, it's going to be some repair, but, you know, you look at this one, like, even this fucking floor pan piece that we pulled out where we were to get into the gearbox stuff, like, apart from a bit of fucking oil and shit, but that fucking piece is bloody near perfectly rust free. It's got a couple little bits of surface rust in it. Like, you could clean that up, fucking hose the underside of it, off, like degrease it or whatever, and you can fucking put it back in the car, you know what I mean? Like, even the rubber grommet is, you know, that must be for something. I don't know exactly what it's for, you know what I mean? But it's fucking still perfect. You know, even this side of the floor, you know? Like, look at this fucking thing. Like, even this stuff is like underneath all the carpet and the underlay and shit. It's fucking, you know, just about spotless. Now we've got a bit of shit in there, you know, who knows what we're going to find in there, but it's blown out and shit. But hopefully it's not too bad, you know what I mean? But who knows? But the floor looks really fucking good. But, you know, it's got its issues. Yeah, we're going to have to fix some shit, but, you know, and it's got a bit of crap up in here. Like, that's a little concerning, but it's not like that other fucking thing I pulled apart. That was just, when we got a blast, it was a complete fucking basket case. Like, you had to replace everything. Well, this is not going to be like that. Like, even in around here, like, you know, at first glance, it's pretty solid. Like, who knows, you know? But I think once we get it stripped down, you know, and get it into work and get all these areas, hard areas that we can blast. You know, we're not going to go into the roof skin. You know, we're not going to go into these pieces. I'm going to blast all that. Or not blast it. I'm going to strip all that down. Now, where it's a wee bit stronger, we'll better blast into some of these areas and we'll whatever. But we'll get them to whip around all the pieces. We'll get them to do underneath and around all this other inner structure and shit and underneath. You know, we might just give it a wee, I don't know, we'll see. We mightn't even blast in here too much. I'm even hoping, because the body is, at this point, is in reasonable nick, like, we're going to have to come into some of these places, but, and see what's going on, but, yeah, I'm hoping to even leave the hood lining in it. If I can get away without taking the hood lining out of it, I fucking will. You know, we'll just cover it up the best we can when we blast it, you know what I mean? If we just can lay it on its side gently with a couple of tyres, you know, a tyre in here and a tyre in there, on its side, and give it a really good fucking blast underneath, and then maybe tip it over the other way to get the other bits, and then just whip around all the, you know, obviously all the jams and shit like that, and around all these strong areas, and in through the boot and stuff. We mightn't even have to do buckle on here, just give it a quick whip up those inside rails, you know, just get in here once all this junk's out and just blow it through, just to make sure we get all the shit out of it, and when it's on its side, or even when it's on its side, he can sort of climb in there or something like that and give it a wee flick in there, whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, it's amazing the difference between, you know, what people expect and what people expect you to be doing. I'll quickly try my gear and I'll talk to you on the way home. Yep, perfect. So if I ever need it again, I can just bring the head or the ram and the extensions. I don't have to bring the pump, which is perfect. Awesome. I can just undo the couple of bolts from underneath and pinch that and just use that. It's the same fucking thing, so that's awesome. Anyway, I'll get out of here. I'll talk to you in the car. Right, yeah, so I'm just buggering off. So, Yeah, it's crazy the expectations of people. Like when they see people, you know, that have thrown pictures of the bodywork up and stuff that they're working on and whatever, you know, whether they're a business or just somebody doing it at home, you know, working on their own car or fixing somebody's car or whatever. But, you know, it drives me bonkers, you know, like you see these real absolutely amazing, immaculate, you know, absolutely perfect jobs done. Like there's a perfect example is an I don't know, whatever it is, XAXB Falcon, XC Falcon Coupe, which is the same as like the Mad Max car, same body style, over in Australia. That's popped up on some videos, and this thing was just an absolute mess. And it was basically all it was the floor, the roof skin, part of the inner rear structure. You know, I think that it was about all the fucking it was left of this fucking thing when they ripped it down to, you know, to basically get the rot off it. And then I don't know whether they got new panels for some of it or what, but it looked like some of them were made panels, but they'd obviously made a lot of stuff. And they basically rebuilt this fucking thing, and the metalwork on it was just fucking gorgeous. And whatever, and painted, and it was, I think it was, I can't remember if it was black or whatever, or that might have been another car, but it doesn't matter. But this thing was like, just, like, it was like any straighter, and it would, you know, it would have been ridiculous, you know what I mean? But, that's a major build, like, that's $500,000 to be at that sort of level, if you know what I mean? Like, this thing was, I don't know, you know, whatever it happens with it, like it was basically the shower's ready for paint, sort of type thing, or I think that one there was a couple of videos that came up that was similar, that I think was two different cars, but may not have been, if you know what I mean. But yeah, like people see that, and then, you know, somebody's doing a bit of rust repairs, stripped this car down, got all the paint off it, and trying to do a decent bare metal job, but you know, is not going to spend a fucking 1,000 hours straightening this fucking thing out till the metalwork is fucking flawless. I mean, because the poor bastard's wanting the car done hasn't got $500,000 or $100,000 to spend on this fucking thing. You know, he's got, I don't know, say 20-30 grand. You know, and for 20 or 30 grand, even here, as long as the car's in reasonable nick, you know, strip it to bare metal, you know, for 30 grand, you're pushing. But yeah, you know, if it was the right car and it was in decent shape, but it was old and fucking shabby, you know, if you're just doing body work, I'm talking, not putting it back together, but like doing a body and paint, you could do it for 30 grand as long as the car wasn't a real fucking mess, if you know what I mean. Replace a couple of panels, do a bit of rust work, straighten it out so it's pretty nice, hammer the fucking worst of it out, get all the any big dents out of it, you know, that were full of filler. You know, when I mean full of filler, I mean like fucking half an inch thick, sort of type shit. Oh, you see it all the time. I've fucking pulled out stuff like that, but I've put filler back in it. But like, you know, when you're doing a body job at work, you know, you fucking rip it out the best you can within, you know, put a stud puller on it, or, you know, one of those, we've got one of those triangular things that you can put on and pull, and then put on and pull. We don't have a stud fucking puller for what reason I don't know, but anyway, would be bloody handy if they do, because I better take it home and do a few things with it too. But you know, that's just things I'm eventually going to get. But yeah, it's like we had a truck, like a little light truck, come in the other day, like I don't know, it was like 3 or 4 ton sort of truck with a wee deck on it that had fold down sides that, yeah, you could do landscaping type shit with. Just want that window here. But yeah, like at some point it had the back corner behind the door all crunched in, and they just filled it up full of filler. But some of the body filler obviously had a knock and it broken some of it away. I had to fix a couple other pieces on it as well. But I got this stud. I cleaned all the filler off that bottom piece where the door come up and the bottom of the cab was. It was where the bottom of the door come up, and it was the bottom of the post. You know, it was the bottom, whatever it is, 8-10 inches high, into this piece where it started going up the pillar. There was a couple of little marks further up too that I pulled, but this bottom piece had been crunched in at some point, and they'd never done anything else with it. They just, fuck it, they just filled it up, whoever done it last time. But they had brought they'd bought like 2 or 3 vehicles in. They had bought a bigger truck in, not huge, but I don't know, 7 or 8 ton sort of thing. Done some body work on that, fixed that up, cleaned that up. They repainted the decks, whatever. And there are 2 of these other little ones here, and this one, yeah, they'd been all crunched in. So I got in there with the triangle, like stud puller thing. Zap, pull it out, zap, pull it out, zap, pull it out. You know, and I managed to get it back out. You know, I probably put maybe a bit over 1/8 in it in the worst places. It wasn't perfect, but I just yanked it out. The boss said, fucking just, you know, fucking get that filler out of there. Pull it out the best you can. We'll straighten it up. Make it decent. Smashed a wee bit of glass filler over top. You know, and then put just a nice thinner of glaze over, and you know, it was a bit thick, but you know, like it might have been that thick in places, but it was fucking better than that, you know. But the boss said, don't spend a pile of time, like, just get it out, fucking make it way better than it is. And you know, I showed him at the end, you know, when I fucking had ripped it all out before I filled it, you know, and I had it back out to half reasonable shape. It probably could have, if you'd spent the time and drilled the spot welds out and cut that pin off, I probably could have hammered it out and then welded it back on. It would have been close to perfect. But you know, he just said, pull it out the best you can, make it decent. And you know, like, the trucks were pretty knocked around anyway. We just tidied them up, fixed the paint on them, painted the decks, you know, all the sides and shit, and just to tidy the whole lot of them up. That's what we did with the whole lot. Yeah, knocked a few dents out, you know, whatever. Just sandblasted the deck sides, resprayed them, painted the wheels, you know, just gave the whole I think 3 trucks, a digger, and I think, is that it? Yeah, I think that might have been it for that lot. But yeah, just gave them all a good fucking tidy up, you know. Being knocked and bashed and scratched and just abused over the years, you know, just cleaned them up, tidied them up, fixed a few things. But yeah, like, you know, it took me fucking 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than that, to fucking pull this dint out half decent, and then it had like a little bit of filler in it. You know, it was still thickish, but it wasn't that fucking bad. But it wasn't, you know, and I think it was like fucking that thick in the worst spot where it was just crunched in and they just filled it. Like, they didn't even try to pull the fucking thing out, or even, you know, even half attempt it. You know, and I did it with one of those stud guns. I was just frickin', it wasn't stud gun, but one of those triangle things. It's like you earth it, and it's like a stud gun, but you just bang it, and it's like on a permanent slide hammer. And zap, and it bonds itself and whack and pull it out. You know, and give it a couple of pulls out if it doesn't break off. You know, if you get a decent, real good lock on it. But yeah, just keep doing that. You know, hammered it around a little bit more, pull. You know, just hammered the edges and to get it to conform, and just pull it a bit more, and tapped and dollied it around for, yeah, probably 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe a little bit longer than that, and fucking, yeah, no, that's fucking, close the door. Yeah, you know, we'll slap I put a little bit of fiberglass filler on it for a start off, just to even it up, and then just ground that down, and then just put a light bit of glaze over top, and to tidy it up. You know, but that was fucking far better than the fucking filler. But you know, it's like people just expect everything to be metal finished, and it's not the reality, unfortunately. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know, not every fucking car is a $100,000 or $200,000 or $500,000 build or $1 million build. They aren't. You know what I mean? You know, somebody comes in and goes, oh, you know, cut the rust out, knock it back. You know, if you need to strip a few panels back to bare metal to get them decent, you know, whatever. But if you can just scuff the rest of it, tidy it up, cut the rust out that you can see, whatever, put a skimmer filler on it, block her out, a few coats of primer, smash some paint on it, and it goes, you know. But if that's what the customer wants, that's what the fucking customer wants. You can't just turn around and go, oh no, I'm just going to metal finish that, you know, and spend $100,000 of your money. Well, yeah, it doesn't fucking work like that, you know what I mean? If the person does have $100,000, well, you're going to end up fucking in court, you know, a fucking $150,000 poorer, because you've probably spent fucking $50,000 on the court fees, plus they'll probably get half your fucking money back, you know what I mean? And all your time and labour and the materials, like, it's just dumb, you know. You can't do that. But you know, you can show the work and the progress and how things, you know, how to do things properly, but within reason and within a limit of the customer and what they want. You know, I could spend, you know, I can metal finish things pretty fucking nicely. Like, I probably wouldn't be able to get 100% laser straight, but I bet you I can cut a car so when most people fucking walk around it, they wouldn't know that it wasn't, you know, fucking wasn't a really almost perfect dent-free car. You know, with time, you know what I mean? But it takes fucking time. You can spend, like, I could spend a week in a panel, you know, to make it really, really fucking perfect. You know, and pick, sometimes you would have to pick the skin off something, you know, and hammer it out. Like, if you really wanted to, you could pop all the welds, whatever, take the skin off it, take all the fucking paint inside and outside, blast the fucking shell, clean it all up, put it back together, you know. But you'd have a fucking $4,000 door, you know what I mean? By the time you'd finished metal finishing it and knocking all the dents out and fucking shrinking and cleaning it up and shrinking and cleaning it up and shrinking and cleaning it up and metal filing it and fucking whatever, you know. I can do that, but fuck, it's going to cost you, you know what I mean? And there's a difference between stripping the paint off it, inside, you know, cleaning up the inside as best you can, fucking put some fucking rust neutralizer in there, or some sort of rust encapsulator inside the panel. Yeah, you can give it a good clean up, you can whip around in there with whatever you can get in there with. But if you're not going to replace the outside skin, you do the best you can, you know what I mean? It all depends on the level of what the person is prepared to spend. And after someone comes to you and says, fuck, I don't care what the fuck it costs, I want this thing bare metal, strip, perfect, completely rust free. If you have to de-skin fucking every panel, de-skin it. You know, take half the bracing apart to make sure you get every fucking skerrick of fucking rust and clean. Well, that's what you do. You know what I mean? And you spend a fucking whole year doing all the bodywork, metal work. You know, and then basically put a few coats of primer on it, block it out, and paint it. You know what I mean? You might have to put a wee scoocher filler here and there just to get something that isn't not 100% perfect when you get it all back. But that is fucking thousands of hours of work. You know what I mean? But you know, if that's what people want, that's what people get, and that's what people pay for. But you can't do that on every fucking car because somebody other cunt that's sitting there watching your video thinks so. It just doesn't work like that. But anyway, we'll catch you later on. I'm gonna go inside and have a drink.